I was not expecting to find this item, and when I saw it sitting there, I was just like, come to mama. I freaking love antiquing and thrifting and just going to boutiques. Going to Joann's and Michael's and all those stores is fun, don't get me wrong. But there's just something special about like not knowing what you're gonna find. You're going to a store that has a bunch of old things. I love dusty, old Halloween items. Like knowing that that was in someone's house for decades, passed down. It was made in God knows when. The older the better, honestly. And when it comes to boutiques, I just adore handmade, one-of-a-kind items. They're just so special, especially when you can see the process, the non-perfection, the factories weren't involved. This was made by someone's hands. I love it. These are the items that I have gotten at those kinds of stores, and a couple of them you are going to have seen before. So I don't want to hear it in the comments. I made a couple of shorts on several of these guys because I couldn't wait. And what I'm going to do is we're gonna go from biggest item to smallest. I thought it would be fun to go from big items to small because I have the smallest little item that you're gonna lose your frickin' minds.
Or I'm gonna lose my frickin' mind!
And while I'm going to be gushing about all the things that I have found and loved, I'm also gonna be ranting a little bit, so buckle up. So before I dive in to these amazing items, I wanted to quickly just give you a short premise of the places that I went to so that I can recommend them to you and tell you a little bit about them, where they were. The main places I'm gonna talk about are either antique shows or like bigger antique stores. There are going to be a couple of items that came from like one-off places. So I'll give those like an honorable mention after, like when I show the items. But I'm gonna focus on just a couple of places that I found so much stuff at that you should totally check out. So the first place I want to talk about is I went to the Bokeville? I don't know how to pronounce it, even though it's in my home state. But I went to the Bokeville Antique Show. This was absolutely incredible. It's so worth it. It's in the middle of nowhere, and it's just this street that is lined with all these different tents. There's a field that has like a bunch of furniture. There was literally something for everyone. Anything that you collect or enjoy, like it's going to be there. I got lucky pretty early on at that antique show. There was a lot of Halloween. Some of it was overpriced, but the thing that grinds my gears the most is people that don't take care of their blow molds. It drives me insane. I don't like saying this because, you know, I don't want to throw things in a landfill, but you might as well almost throw it away when it's this sun-bleached, no color left on it blow mold. Like what is the point of that? And it was a shame because we went to this one booth that had so many blow molds. Like he had a ton. No hate to this guy. He was very nice, but there were a couple of them that were like a Don Featherstone blow mold. And there was this one in particular that I had been hunting for quite some time. It was like it says Happy Halloween, and it's like very horizontal, and it's a bunch of pumpkins. It's so cute. But it was bleached to heck. There was like no color left. And it was such a shame because I got so excited when I saw it in the pile, and then I was like, oh. And there were a couple of other ones that were really cool, but they were bleached. I would take a hole in the blow mold over it being sun bleached. It's such a travesty. If you want to sell in the future, if you want to sell your things, I guess just take care of them. Enjoy them, but just like, you know, take care of them and don't leave them out under the sun for 5 years straight. But anyway, there was a really nice overall selection at the Bokeville antique show. There was this witch that I still think about. Maybe one day I'll own her, but I think she was one of a kind. I'm not sure. She was absolutely gorgeous, just a little bit out of my price range. There was glassware, there were cool little pumpkin pails, there was a lot of like paper art. There was just so many things at this show. The next place that I went to is Palmer Antiques Co-op. I went to Salem. I told you guys that I was going to Salem, and I just love going there. One day I want to go for like a full week, but this trip, it was only a couple of days, but I had planned out Halloween shopping at a couple of places in Salem, and then of course on the way. This place is fantastic. It's so good. You've got to go. It's in Palmer, Massachusetts. It's a tiny, teeny, tiny little town. And this store is so good. I don't know if they have like an off season. I went 2 years ago in October and then this year in September. And they have so much Halloween. Every corner, it's just pumpkins. And the prices are really fair at this store. I don't think I saw a thing that I was like, however, rant number 2 coming in. My second gripe is that there were bundles at this place. And this is a common thing that I come across with antiquing, not really thrifting, but like any kind of like where you have someone that's a seller and they have a booth and they can kind of make their own rules. This is a problem that comes into play. And of course, once again, this is the sellers, like they can do whatever the hell they want. It just annoys me, and I just wonder like why. So I saw this 3 pumpkin set on the top shelf, and I was immediately drawn to the top pumpkin. It was a little guy. It was like a pumpkin and a ghost plastic guy, and I loved him. He was so cute, and so I grabbed him. And then I also liked the middle one. He was also cute, similar to something I've had, but I liked him. So I grabbed both of them. And I noticed that the top guy had like a piece of like crusty, dusty like tape on him and he like, you know, under him, and it fell off. And I was like, oh, like they must have not wanting the top one to fall over. They were stacking them and they didn't want it to fall. But I was about to have a rude awakening. So I go to cash out, and she's like, oh, do you want the other pumpkin? And I was like, what? And she was like, well, this is a totem pole. This is like a trio totem pole thing. You're going to have to get the other one. And I was like, oh. And I look at it. No, I didn't want that guy. He would have been in my basket if I wanted him. He was not my style. I'm sorry if you like him. He was not my style. And the thing too was that they didn't fit. This person just took tape and was like, this is a totem pole now. No, it's not. Those don't, they are nothing alike. They were so different in style. I can't even like express. And I was trying to haggle. I was like, what if I paid more than a third for this one guy? Like, no, I'm sorry. And then she was like, we've had other people ask about this. So you've missed out on other sales. You've missed out on other customers because you want to sell this dumb bottom pumpkin so bad. Just give it away. It really angered me because I wanted that little guy so bad. And it wasn't worth paying the full price because it was $25. So I wasn't gonna pay $25 for a little tiny plastic guy this big. And I see that a lot at other antique places where it's like, this is a bundle, these go together, and I don't like the other one. And I'm like, well, I don't want that. So then I leave it and I'm like sad because I really wanted the one thing, but they wouldn't sell. And every time you like talk to these people, they're always like, and it seems like they don't care. It seems like a lot of antique stores, it's just like a glorified storage locker or something. I don't know. Sometimes that's how I feel. Like they are not actually out to sell anything. They just need to put this somewhere. So overall, I would say I run into more people that are willing to haggle, willing to give you a fair price than not. Palmer Antiques in Palmer, Massachusetts is absolutely amazing. You should definitely go. It's such a cool store. There's like this main section and then there's like a garage area that's like things are covered, so that's great, but it's like in a non-insulated barn thing. So it's really cool and I always find something and I think it's absolutely worth the stop if you're heading that way. The other place that I went to that I actually went to 2 years ago and was like, but this year it changed my mind. It has like 2 names. I think on Apple Maps or something it comes up as Witch City Antiques, but then the store says Jerry's Department Store. And then on Instagram, I tried to tag it and Jerry's Department Store was the thing that came up. So I'm not sure what this thing is called, but it's right next to the witch house. It's right there. And this year it was packed to the brim with antiques. Lots of really fun blow molds and paper pumpkins. There was like this really cool like jack-o'-lantern sign. And I had the best luck of my life there. I will share with you the item that I found in a mere moment. I was not expecting to find this item. And when I saw it sitting there, I was just like, come to mama. Their prices are also pretty fair. That place was like a hit or miss with the prices. They did, however, offer there, which I thought was really nice. They offered cash for less and then more, for credit. So if you bring cash, you will get the item for cheaper. So those are the 3 main places that I found the most at this year. Let's get into the first item, my treasured triple-headed pumpkin. Yes, I made a story about this guy already, so you know how I got him. I found him on Facebook Marketplace. But guys, he's a Don Featherstone. He is incredible. I love him so much. I had been hunting for him for a long time and I could not believe I found him on Facebook Marketplace within my area. Just the luck of that. He is one of my favorite blow molds that I own. And I just have to find a perfect spot for him. I really would love to put him near a fireplace, and the teeny tiny home that we live in is just, it doesn't do him justice. So I'm excited to display that gorgeous blow mold one day in his rightful spot. The next biggest item is, of course, another blow mold. Yes, because those are the big items, obviously. Now, he might look a little familiar because I showed you guys him in my Halloween decorating video briefly, but I got him at the Bokeville antique market. I was looking for other Featherstone blow molds, and he captured my heart. The pumpkin is just beautiful. It's just the right amount of like disheveled. Like, I love when the paint is chipped just a little bit to show like the wear and tear. And I love when people, you'll see more about this as I talk and show the items. I love when people play with ghost shapes under the cloth. I love when people are like, what is under this sheet? Who's under there? So this guy has his little fingers showing. The cloth is like folding in his fingers. And it just creates this like depth to it. I love his expression. I love his little nose. And I'm really happy that he was one of the ones that was not sun bleached amongst the graveyard of the ones that were. Next up is this adorable little ghost blow mold that I found at the Flower City Flea Market in Rochester, New York. He was just so unique. He had this face that I don't like normally go for. I don't know. Like, he was very goofy, very cartoony, and he had like this silly expression. I love that his eyes are orange. Like, how fun is that? I love the black and orange details on him and his little hands. He is a fun contrast to the previous ghost blow mold. So different. Two totally different styles. And I love it. I love that ghosts can be expressed in such different dramatic ways. A classic pumpkin blow mold is up next. I got this guy at the Bokeville Antique Fair, and I saw him right off the bat. And he was in perfect condition. Absolutely perfect condition. His colors are so vibrant, and he glows beautifully. He's just beautiful. He's a beautiful blow mold. Whoever owned him took such good care of him. That's what I love to see. He is sitting in my office as we speak. I'm looking at him, and I love him. The next biggest item is this gorgeous paper mache, paper clay. I'm gonna guess like some kind of clay because this guy was heavy. Like, he did not express the weight of like paper clay. Like, he was heavy. But like, this beautiful cat pail that I found at the Palmer Antiques Co-op. He is just beautiful. I see the classic pumpkin with the screaming cat a lot. I see them a lot. They're cute. They're kind of like a Halloween staple. I haven't gotten around to owning one of those yet because they're just always higher in price. They're always just a little bit more than I want to spend because they're very retro. But this guy, I think it's because he was made recently. He's not vintage. He was $25. And it's the whole body. It's this whole cat body. And I was like, that is so unique. I've seen it before, but like not anywhere near as much as I've seen the cat head. So that intrigued me, that he was different and unique, and so I grabbed him. I don't know if it's the same booth, but he was in the same area as my beloved paper cat pumpkin sculpture. I got this guy at Palmer Antiques, and this guy was in the same booth. So I don't know if it's the same artist, but I wouldn't be surprised. So if that's the same artist, my hat tips off to you because you're incredible. And let's collab. Following our adorable cat Bucket, we have another blow mold, but this is a little bit of a different blow mold because this is my first wall blow mold. I know, so exciting. I'm sure all of you have seen this guy. He is around. He's all over eBay, Etsy, wherever. I just, as well, haven't found the right price for this guy. I think this guy was $25, which is very reasonable. And so I grabbed him. He's so cute. He shines like a diamond. I love his little crescent moon nose, and he's perfect. I don't know if I'm gonna hang him up or if I'm going to just have him sit amongst the pumpkins. I have to decide. Another ghosty, but this time it's ceramic. I talked about him in my Halloween decorating video. It is the ceramic ghost bank that I found at the Bokeville antique show. Isn't he just the cutest, darlingest little thing you have ever seen? And you already know what I'm gonna say. It's that little belly. It's the belly that's popping out under this sheet, and it's creating the shape, the little like cloth wrinkles around it, and the way that the cloth is like coming over the belly and then down, and it's like draping around him, like the cloth is like way too big or whatever. So it's like, it feels like it's a little kid under there. It's so cute, just so charming, and it gives me like old Disney vibes in a way. It's just so sweet, and I love that it's a bank. I'm probably never gonna use it as a bank, but I saw him sitting there on the shelf amongst so many other, oh my gosh, that booth was great. She had so many cool things, and that ghost, I was like, you're coming home with me. Have you ever seen a black ghosty? Because I haven't. And so when I saw this guy last year, I know, I'm breaking the rules, but I didn't talk about this guy last year. Once again, it was after I had made my Halloween haul antique video, and I had to talk about him because he is so freaking cool. Like, there's no other word to describe him. First of all, he's a black ghost. Like, he's like, I have never seen a ghost this color, and I love that he's like, has like brown, like if you hold him in the light, he has like brown like detailing. He's definitely made out of wax, but he doesn't have a wick, so I don't think he's like meant to be a candle. But anyway, I found him at a random cider mill. My husband and I went to get cider and donuts, and he was there. And I was like, is that for sale? And he had a price tag on him, so I grabbed him, and no regrets. We have a thrifted item coming at you. The first of so many antiques. Like, I just didn't do a ton of thrifting this year. I didn't find a ton at Savers or Goodwill. But this little guy, I saw him at Goodwill holding up the little pumpkin. Oh my God. He is so stinking cute. The way that his sleeves are falling down, and I love the expression of him. I love the expression on the pumpkin. It's just a very sweet little ceramic to add to my collection. And you can add a candle in the back. When they have a little candle area, it's just like, what more in life do you need? One of the most unique things that I have found is up next, which is this witch candle wax figure. I don't even know if she's a candle per se. I think she's just a wax figure. And holy crap, I just love primitive Halloween decor. The aged, simplistic, non-perfect. It's a style that just inspires me to create. I love it. So not only was she like, I was instantly drawn to her, but the store she was in. We need to talk about the Bokeville, this incredible store that is in Salem. You have to go. I didn't include it in the very beginning because I only got one thing there, but you have to go to the Bokeville. If you are in Salem, that store is absolutely incredible. It is everything that you expect Salem to be. It is magical, it's creepy, it's spooky, it's beautiful, it's breathtaking, it's regal, it's gothic, it's woodsy.
She is the mother I never had.
I could go on and on and on with the adjectives. It's breathtaking. And it's you go there obviously to buy something, but even just to look. It's such an inspiring, cool store. My husband went right to like shopping and I was like, yeah, I'll be right there. And I was just taking all these photos and videos of this place. I had a field day in there. I loved it. They had a fog machine. The fog was like blue. And then there was a roped off area and it went further into the back. And there were like trees and like this really creepy statue at the end of it. It was like, what's down there? It's just a treasure trove. It's a cabinet of curiosities. You have to go. And so I'm so glad I got this witch to commemorate it. She has like details, but you have to like really look at her. They're not like right there in your face. You have to like really observe her, and then you see like her hands are folded behind her, but like she looks faded and old and worn. I love faded and old and worn things. What better way to commemorate a trip to Salem than a Salem witch house candle? Because I got this freaking candle at a cute little boutique in Salem called Vamp Fangs. It's small, but it has a lot of things, and the smell in there, you step in and it's just the incense is burning and it's very fun. And I saw this Salem witch house candle just tucked in the corner, and I was like, what better of a way to like commemorate such a special place. I had it wrapped in the tissue paper, and when I opened it, it was just like, oh, like it's a very earthy, fresh smell. It's so lovely, and it's very subtle. And you can buy this candle online. They have it on their store. It's $30 and it's beautiful. If you love Salem, I highly recommend this candle. I think it's just very special. We are at the final item, the grand finale. So the final item that I got, the one that I had been looking for so long, I found him at the Witch City Antiques, whichever one it's called, the one next to the witch house. We were perusing in there, and I was seeing a lot of Halloween. I was getting excited, and there were a lot of fun blow molds. It's a really big store, lots of things, and we've kind of had our fill. But I'm like, oh, let's go around the corner to the front to see if they have anything in this one little tiny area. I was gonna leave. Don't ever leave, guys. If there's one thing that I've been taught, it's don't leave a store before you look everywhere, because there are so many times where I was about to leave and then I was like, oh, okay, I'll go check this corner. And then I find something. So we go to check this front corner, and there is this little hutch, glass hutch, with a bunch of things in there. And inside the hutch is the frickin' Avon Ghost Pumpkin Pommet. You're probably like, what in God's name is a pommet? So I saw this guy on Instagram, on the Little Haunted Homes Instagram account. If you don't know who she is, she has an incredible Instagram feed. Go follow her for all the Halloween inspiration. Her collection is just like, it's insane. Anyway, she shared on one of her photos this little ghost guy, and he's in a pumpkin. And I was like, oh my God, what is that? And how do I get one?
It's perfect. I must have it.
And so I start doing the research. And a pommet is apparently just like an air freshener. You weren't supposed to light it. It wasn't a kind of makeup thing, because when you think of Avon, you think of makeup, or like maybe he's like a body butter. No, he is not any kind of makeup or anything for you to put on yourself. He's just this air freshener that they made. He is mint. He is in mint condition. There are so many of them online that aren't in mint. They're like, they look a little crusty dusty. And this guy is from the 80s. He still has his scent all this time later, like 40 freaking years later, and he still has his smell. That is insane. I love that he's from the 80s and that he was this one-time thing that they don't do anymore. And that's my third rant. That's my third rant of this video. Why don't we make stuff like this anymore? Things were fun. People were having fun. I just wish that brands would do fun things like this again. This was Avon in the 80s, and they made a ghost pumpkin thing for decoration just for the hell of it. And it's so cute. It's so special. It's so unique. I was happy that McDonald's brought back the pails last year. That was really cool. I mean, they skimped out, and a lot of people were like, oh, forget it. I'm not gonna get that pail. It doesn't have the lid. I was like, well, then more for me, because I'm gonna get my Halloween where I can freaking get it. It's so rare now. I guess that just means that we're gonna have to make cool and fun things. And so many of you do. So many of you do. I see so many small stores that, you know, and I would love to do a video actually highlighting the people that are doing incredible things and not even focusing on these big corporations, because honestly, they do things so crappy anyway. It's like, what's the point? I'm sorry that I went on this giant rant, but like, I don't know. I love having this community. I love having you guys in this community because we're excited for Halloween. We're talking about Halloween. We're making crafts. We're making our videos. We're celebrating in every way that we possibly can. And that is so helpful. So I had so much fun this year. I had so much fun shopping and thrifting and antiquing and just looking. Even if I didn't buy, I had so much fun just going into the different shops and seeing their window displays and just looking around and just being surrounded by Halloween. I love Salem every year. If you haven't gone, plan a year to go. Plan a year to go. If you don't want the crowds, don't go in October. But if you do love extra festivities, then October would be the time to go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, for hanging out with me, for seeing my collection and sharing this little show and tell time with me. If you have any antique fairs or stores or basically like big events or stores or whatever that you love, that are your favorites, and you want to share, drop them below, please. We love to share on this channel. I love to spread the love and be like, go here, go here, go here. We don't want to gatekeep. Let's share what we love, what stores we love to go to, because I would love to add to my list, and I would love to visit wherever these are, honestly. Halloween is worth the drive. Halloween is absolutely worth the drive. So leave in the comments below what your favorite places to shop are, or what out of my items that I shared with you today that you enjoyed, that you liked, or, you know, I mean, you can also tell me the items you didn't like, but that would be rude. But whatever. I mean, feel free. Thank you so much for watching, my cute and creepy friends. and I will have another craft for you coming up in my next video. So stay tuned for that and stay spooky.